Possible print there. Yeah, it's a print. Toe right there. Got a footprint on the side of the trail. He was coming up out of these woods here, stepping there and into the road. Either down the road. It doesn't look like he. Trying to see if I can. Once he gets in the road's so hard packed. And then he could either have stayed in the road, gone up through there, gone that way, or he could have gone up the trail for going back in. There's a game trail there. But this right here is like he was standing right beside this tree. And you can see a couple toes. That's going to be about an 18 to 20 inch track. Like I said, he pushed off right there. I need to give you an idea. See how it drops off. He's beside that tree and he pushed off. He's good. Got him right there. See that? And he pushed off and it slipped back. I want to get a comparison with my foot if I can get down in here. It might break my neck. I might screw the track up. Huge print. Sorry, it's one of those deals here. Oh, so just real quick, we've got a print. He can come out of here hiding. Most likely, he was hiding beside this tree, and then pushed off, came out. So there's a little bit of, like one little twig broke on that tree. I stepped down in there and I made all that. That was it, just that one spot. And you could definitely see where big toe, a couple toes had you know, curled over and in. So always something, you know, just being observant. I've got my new GoPro 11 up here. It's supposed to be, excuse me, it is supposed to have a stabilizer on it, like a gimbal stabilizer. So we're going to find out when we get back home. It's my first time out with it. It's pretty high def, and kind of see it's about 43 degrees. Had some snow. It's cold, but just wanted to show you that. Ooh, glyph. So apparently he came out leaving whoever was following him a sign, direction where he was going. And it's just in the trail. That's what they do. He was hiding beside that tree. This has been some time today because it snowed and the trail has disrupted the snow. So it's within the last 12 hours at least, maybe sooner. It's pretty fresh dirt, hadn't dried out yet. And then you got this right here. It's like a ground, I call them ground glyphs. And then you got, right from that, you got that stick right there. So, like, I don't know what it means, but it's a preset signal that they give each other. So, you know, it's which direction he went, or how far he went, or why he was even here. It pays to be observant in the woods. Oh, so something's going on right in there. This is like the area I've captured, the one with the one eye peeking out at me, and then I have that real good footage where you can actually see him lean forward and open his eyes, and I'll show that. And yeah, it's just coming down the mountain. I'm getting ready to go up, and then that goes in this about a quarter mile here from that curve to the parking lot. And right in this area here is where all the actions happen, from there to here. Obviously this is furthest up I found stuff here, but this little area right here got a stream, bear trails, game trails coming off. They cross here, go up this holler, and then turn left to get on top of the mountain. All the white bear, the deer, and the Sasquatch do, because it allows them to, the trail goes to the left, it allows them to go up the center and then catch a finger and go to the top without being seen. Like I said, he was hiding beside this tree right here, and that's where his footprint is. I wish I had some something to cast it with. Plaster, and as wet as that ground is, I don't know. Take that surgical rubber stuff probably to do something good. But anyway, I just wanted to break in to your regularly scheduled hike and update you there. Thought that was interesting. It's Sunday. Doing a couple hours. Sunday the 15th. If I could, it's just, I just, like I said, just being observant. And like I said, there's a lot of people hiking today. It's a cabin fever day. The parking lot's full, and there's a couple that went ahead of me. I've already passed one guy coming back. So if I get anything else, I'll pop on here. Otherwise, if not, God bless and be safe out there. Hello, this is Scott Carpenter. So I wanted to follow up with my in the woods content there about the footprint that I found. And let's see here, let me bring that up. But you know, that little stretch, that little area there, you know, that's the one, two, three, that's the fourth footprint I found. Got multiple videos there, so that's a little hot spot. So area where I've had the portal open up, and had them peeking behind me, had them doing all kinds of crazy things in that one little area. So that there's just one spot there right before you start up the hill. It's really active, and I was just kind of trying to, you know, just looking on the edge of the trail, because if you're going to find a footprint, that's usually either on the edge where they stepped across the road or running on the edge of the road. And it's rare, but it was really busy. Everybody had cabin fever, and so the parking lot was full, and the trail was full of people. So there was a lot of smells and a lot of children and a lot of perfume and a lot of people to watch, and so a lot of things to draw the Sasquatch down to that trail. So, and I was there just because I had, to be honest with you, I had spring fever, and I wanted to test out my GoPro 11 and see how it would do, and it did well. I'm going to have to, it leans on my shoulder to a little bit, and it does have an internal gimbal, and while it did straighten it about, you know, it's not like the external gimbal where it'll completely level it up. So I found a stick once I got on top of the hill and put it up under, because, you know, my shoulder rolls off to the side, so it was at an angle if you look there. So I was able to get it. So I've got it. I found some foam to fix that with, so when it sits on my shoulder, it'll sit level. And the gimbal then, you know, if it's almost level, the gimbal will take care of the rest of it. But it was stable. It looked good. High def. Definitely above 5K, and it's a little bit bigger camera lens, so I get a little bit wider, a little bit better picture. Get good sound on it. Before the camera was so sensitive, the GoPro 7, when it was in the gimbal, you could hear, that's all you could really hear was the gimbal making its electronic noises as it constantly adjusted the camera. And so with, you know, this not having anything you know, electronic externally, you know, there's no noise. So it's you know, along with you know, being a camera, it's all, you know, to my backside, you know, it's also going to be, you know, a recording. So if there's any vocalizations or noises, then voila. But what I wanted to show you here, you know, the footprint unfortunately is off. It was off the side of the trail. He pushed off, and in other words, it was on a grade, but it was pretty steeple to grade, and so he pulled up. And like I said, the toes actually dug in holes. The big toe slid, and then like his smaller toes, middle toe, pinky toe, you can see where they just, you know, they poked into the ground. So when he you know, stepped up onto the road, and so he and I estimate this track to be my boots 12 inches long, and so this was about an 18 to 19, maybe even 20-inch track. Pretty good sized dude, and even though, you know, it's muddy, that the side, that's a packed road. That was a road bed. It's been a road for, you know, it's been in there for 100 years, and so it's a packed gravel road, and so it's pretty hard, and so the side of it was, you know, it was pretty hard, but there was it was like some loose mud, and then once you got closer to the top, it got harder. But you know, there's this one. It's a left foot, so he stepped up with his left foot. And it's just amazing. It's almost like they wanted you to find that one print, because there was no. Of course, now that would be kind of the lay of the land. I can see where if he's stepping up there, maybe coming up and just pausing beside that tree, probably what he did or she did, and then stepped into the road and across the road, whatever, making sure nothing was coming, etc. Then I could see where that one print would be made. But otherwise, there were no prints. Just like, no prints on the other side coming up to that one print, and no prints on the other side going off of it. So I'm squawking here. So here's the footprint, and I took some with my iPhone, a little bit higher def than the video camera. But you can see here's the heel, and then you can clearly see the toe. This, right here's the toe, and you can see where it broke and pushed this stick into the ground. Here's the toe, and it kind of, its foot like the other one that's in this area. I've got another footprint where all the toes sprayed, and not like you would think. The foot, why it's a human looking foot, the toes work a little different in this. And so you can see here you got a toe going, the toes literally spread like your fingers stood up that way. They went in that way. And so you had a toe here, toe there, there's a toe. I don't know why I was afraid that people would be coming up and down the trail. Should have moved those leaves. I think there's probably another toe print under there. And up here's the big toe, and it kind of slid down a little bit. So you got toe, 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 and then probably if it's 6-toed, you may have 2 more toes. If it's 5 toes, you may just have 1. And then right here and sliding back down is the big toe. And so you can see the footprint there. Let's go to the next one. This is just me running the filter there so you can kind of see. You can see the pad of the foot real well right there. And you can see there's where the big toe hit the ground and the other toes dug in. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta flip it for you, make it easier. That's just another shot, same one. I did a whole bunch, how you do. That's from the top looking down, so this is the big toe, and now we're looking down the print. That's the heel right there. That's just a whole print again. Try to flip it around, that's the whole print. There. Let's flip. That's the upper part of the print across here, the toes. Another one, same thing, the upper part of the toes there. There. You can see how he's crushed a lot of the foliage there. There's just another one. Filter there so you can see that's the big toe. Wish I could have been able, there's just another. Wish I'd have had, there's a good filter. You can really see the pressure points there. The toe and the ball of the foot right in there, the heel back here, and then those 3 toes, doing the grip down. Just run her through filters. Here's my foot beside the print. Like I said, I put my foot a little too far back. I was on a grade, but my foot, 12 inches long, about 4 inches wide right there. So you can tell based on that, it's almost 7-8 inches across the ball of the foot. I moved my foot up that time. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Got my heel up there where it belongs. So if this is 12 inches, and I haven't done the measurements yet, should have by now, but if that's 12 inches, then it's a 4, that's another 6. That's, yeah, we got an 18 to 20 inch print. Pretty good size filler. I was trying to do a filter there. There's my, again, taking another shot trying to get it all in there. Now, talked about the glyph on the ground. When I stepped up and was looking for prints, I found this interesting. Got a stick with 2 sticks under it, and the stick in the center. On the side of a trail, on the opposite side of the trail. Like I said, this probably means something to them. It's a signal. It's a prearranged signal telling others following behind them, I went this way or I did this. It's some probably something of that nature. It could have been meant for me, but or anybody, someone else, but don't know what it means. So I'm thinking this is more meant for, another Sasquatch in the clan, directional, or something's here, or look for something that, something of that nature. And the fact that there's a stick up here, like, you had the glyph and then right and centered. I mean, almost dead centered, lined up. And I'm sorry things don't fall out of trees and in symmetrical patterns, almost perfect. Sorry. Sell that garbage to somebody else. So here I'm measuring the distance between the end of the stick, end of the parallel stick, and the one of the sticks going perpendicular. So it's about the width of my foot, about 4 or 5 inches. And the other side's just a smidge shorter. And then there's the stick up here. Let's say you got this formation here, and this is literally in line. I'm sorry, but it's in line. This little stick laying here is in line with this stick here. Okay, so that's not a coincidence. And I guess you could say directional. I mean, we could go. They're pointing, hey, I went this way, or they could be saying, hey, I went that way, or who knows. There's a stick here going off there, and I don't know if that means anything or not. May mean something, may not, but that and this glyph here, and the fact that you got a stick pointing that direction, in my humble opinion, there's no such thing here as a coincidence. It means something. Okay, so I talked about the area having a lot of activity, so I wanted to show you some still captures. This is about 100. I don't know. It'd be 50 yards. It's 300 feet. 50 yards or so back down the trail towards the parking lot. This was taken. This was at dusk, actually. Right, it was getting ready, almost dark. And this guy was looking out behind the tree here. Here's close-ups. The guy's got rotten teeth. Look at that nasty mouth. Split teeth there. See that? Look at that. I actually see the teeth. So that's that guy. Here is a footprint I found in 2000. I think it was 2015, 16, in the same area. Just again, right. Actually, this guy, the footprints were found here in the trail, right across from where this guy was looking at me. But it was a different, a couple years later, and this guy was coming. I said 15, it should have been 17. Sorry. And so it was in this area. Is this the guy that left the footprints? Don't know. Could have been. This could be the guy that's doing all the mischief in this area, or one of the two. There's another one. I'll show you that one in a second. A big one. And so here, this is the cast. This is a human, former wife of mine. The footprint, I think she was a size woman 7. So, where is, hang on, let me go past this, find it. Yeah, here's the actual footprint I found. You can see how the toe, this is the road bed, and it's packed gravel, hard, very hard. So whatever did this slid on bare feet. And you can see how the toes sprayed out, like big old fat sausages. Similar to that track where they're sprayed out, you know, where you would think they, you know, more than a human like this, these toes are sprayed because it's, you know, it's hitting the ground, sliding and gripping. And you can see there, this boot 12 inches, so this track here is roughly 17, 18 inches. And then you can see there were 2 footprints, 8-foot stride. It pushed off here and landed and slid there, and then there's a tree, and it hooked its arm around the tree and went up in across the creek into a laurel, up a hillside covered in thick laurel. And so let's go back now to, so this is the guy, y'all have seen this 100 times, but this is like where I found the footprints a couple days ago, was right up in here. And this is in the summertime, and I'm leaving. And this is 4K back trail camera, and this is a creek, and this is on the other side, and this guy's hiding on the other side of the creek. This is about 8 foot, and he's been over a little bit. I think there's this like a hole right there, a gap in the rhododendron, and but right there's that, and you can see out. You can see there, and then he leans forward, and there's his eyes. And you can see he actually moves the foliage with his face when he pushes forward. Don't know if his eyes were closed and he's opening them, or he was just back in the shadows, and then when he moved forward, his eyes, you know, became visible. I think it's when he moved forward, his eyes became visible. And then there's the close up, just the facial. See, watch the foliage here, here, and here. See how it pushes? Got his head a little bit back, so it comes forward. When he does, the nose catches, and you can see there's foliage laying here and here, and it flicks down where the nose catches on it. And he pushes, there's foliage laying here on his forehead, and he pushes that forward. So that's why I'm thinking he's a little back, and he's kind of leaning back in the shadows, and then he just leans forward and take a look. Yeah, I think his eyes are open the whole time. It's just he's so far back in there. And that's right there. All this is right there together. That's what the whole point of showing you this is. And there's a close-up, probably too close up. But you can see he had his eyes are in the slit mode. It's my theory that they have a double lens, and so the second lens that comes from the side are like snake-like. So in real bright light, they can hit that other lens, and it cuts down on the light coming in. I think their eyes are sensitive, very sensitive. They can see in the infrared, and so he's using, since it's bright light, he's using those lenses are deployed, whether it's something that he can do or it's involuntary, probably involuntary. But anyway, there it is. There's the footprint, and like I said, interrupt my normal hike. I'll go up there 25 times and nothing. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, you always get something." No, I don't always get something. You know, I try to go hiking and hunting or in the outdoors at least, you know, 3 times a month if I can, and try to just do stuff and be in the outdoors, and it's not as often as you think, you know. And every now and then we get fortunate, and that's, like I said, just observing and watching, and you know, so every now and then you get something. So hope you enjoyed that, and we'll get back to our Sasquatch Awareness Project videos here a little bit later in the week. Hope you guys are doing well. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, snap.